everybody, welcome back to the channel. We've got a few updates on the car. It's been a while and I think it's time we got into it. So I'm going to try and, it's a mixture of stills and short videos to talk you through what's been going on. There were the coilovers that were in the car. We've then obviously, as we mentioned in a previous video, we purchased some brand new standard shock absorbers and we have hacked them up. We took the top off of them, left the bottom section, which is obviously got all the bolting gear to bolt the shock absorber to the bottom of the car. We've then got our hydraulic section and welded that into the bottom section of that standard shock. Here's the photo of that. We got along with placing some parts of the hydraulic kit inside the car. So obviously, first of all, we were putting some bits in the wheel well there. So we've dynamated that, as you can see. Main pump will sit in the rear wheel well behind the passenger seat, and then the other side will be a secondary battery to run the sound system and the hydraulic suspension as well. So then it doesn't drain your main battery and you can still get home if you need to, because they do draw a lot of power, these systems. Obviously you'll have to uprate the alternator as well to charge both batteries at some stage, but there's a shot of the pump sitting roughly where it's going to be. Then it was a case of connecting up the hoses from the pump to the actual main hydraulic running gear, you know, all underneath the car, to each hydraulic suspension leg. I don't think I've looked through my camera roll. I can't find any images of the actual shocks in place. Not that you're going to see a lot. I have this video, which is the next video in the sequence, really, that depicts obviously the shocks on the car. And we've had to start cutting the arches out because, as I said, when the car was going to be lowered down, it was, you know, the wheels were just, they need to sit further up into the arches to make the car lower for a start. And also, you know, it's just going to make it look a lot better and sit nicer. So this is us hacking out, literally hacking out the arches so that the car will sit down low enough that it's going to look right. We took measurements numerous times before we obviously decided to, you know, put the hydraulics on when it was still sat on its coilovers. And yeah, you will see how much progress has been taken out of the arches. It doesn't matter how untidy they look, it's all going to get tidied up. We're going to have to wide arch over the top of it and hide a lot of it anyway. But yeah, this shows you what's been going on with, you know, with things over the last week or so. Look at that, cut out the inner arch. In the car. This one hasn't been cut yet. The front's been cut. And that one. So then it was obviously, you know, we put hydraulic oil in the system, bled all the air out, which took an age. The air just, you know, was sitting in the pipes to keep cracking nuts to let the air out, you know, a little bit at a time. You know, finally got there. And in fact, it was getting quite late in the day. This is the only video I've got roughly at the moment of the car going up and down on the front end. Battery's starting to sound a bit tired, so yeah, it just obviously shows it going down and then slowly coming up because the battery was really kind of weak at that point during the day. We'll get it charged up, we'll do a better video of it another day. There's plenty of time for that, but it gives you a rough idea exactly what's happening now. So this is the front end, and this shows the bumper exactly sat where it's going to. If you look under the bottom there, you'll see that there's a piece of wood. That piece of wood is depicting a splitter that will be eventually, should I say, fitted to the bottom of that bumper. So, you know, realistically, once the splitter's on there, it will be on the deck. And it should sit flush with the actual floor rather than, you know, being too low, and when I drop the hydraulics it just shatters it to a million pieces. So everything should be, you struggle to get a playing card or a fag paper underneath this when it's finished. So here you go, there's the image of what it will look like now. Then moving on, yeah, so obviously the carpet's going to have to come out. I never liked the light grey carpet, want to put a darker one in there. So I haven't got a darker carpet. It's been sat in the shed for a while, and I've been thinking about, yeah, I need to get it cleaned. And I suddenly thought, well, let's just take it to the laundrette. So here we go, at the laundrette. Here we go, got the old Corsa carpet in here. Gonna give her a little wash. Just looks like an empty machine. You wouldn't even believe that there's a carpet in there. Tumble dryer time. Go look at that. She's mint. One clean carpet, washed and tumble dried. Only gave it a low heat. Didn't want it to shrink it too much, but that's the way to do it. Once it had had a good clean, we decided that we'd whack it in the tumble dryer for a few minutes, only on a low heat, as I mentioned in one of the other videos, because I don't want to cook the thing and shrink it to, you know, otherwise it's never going to fit back in the car. But we need to get that carpet back in there before we place the hydraulic pump in, because we need to screw that down so it doesn't twist about and move about when it's in action. So there you go. Carpet's got to be the next thing that goes in. Maybe a bit of Dynamat under where the pump's going to sit, you know, just for sound deadening purposes. But that's where we're at, and I will get some more better videos of the car going up and down and exactly what's going on another day when we've got a little bit more time. But it was a weekday evening, everyone had been at work all day, the time was running out, and we wanted to go home for dinner really, so we were very limited on what we actually produced with videos and footage. But there we go. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. You can see what's been going on with it. It has been a bit slow, but it's all on there, and obviously now the time is to, you know, hide all the wiring and all the rest of the pipes and whatnot. We might need a few different elbows and things where the pipes come out of the wheel well, and I've got to run down underneath the sound system flooring eventually, just to get the right angles, you know, 90 degree to come up and out rather than just you know, a pipe draping across the top of the wheel well. But it gives you some ideas. There's a few additional photos I'll slap at the end that sort of don't really fit into where we've talked about so far. But the builds are going well. You know, as I say, it was never going to be done for this year. I'm going to, you know, just do it a bit at a time and do it slowly. You know, get the outside done for now, and then go from there. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Please like and subscribe. Drop any comments or questions you've got down. You know, happy to answer them, and always like to chat to people and, you know, hear about your builds, what you've got going on. Take care. See you again.